Hi everyone, this is Patrick, the Leaving Cert History tutor, and here I have a quick little video on how to correctly cite sources in your outline plan for Leaving Cert History. And of course, this is all part of my mission to take the mystery out of Leaving Cert History. So, here we go. Now, I set this challenge on social media very recently. How many marks would you give these sources in your outline plan? Okay, let's have a look. If you'd like now, have a pause and read. Okay. Now, let's have a look at the marking scheme. So, this is what it tells us for citation of sources. 3 appropriate sources are asked for at higher level. It's 2 at ordinary level. Accurate citation of each appropriate source will give you 2 marks. Now, if you cite a book, author and title will give you a mere 1 mark. You must have an extra item of validating information. So, for example, a publisher or a date for the extra mark. I tell my students, give them both, really show off, get the 2 marks. NB at the bottom. Standard school textbooks will not be regarded as suitable sources for the purposes of the research study. Okay, so let's start with the easy one. Ireland since 1870 by Mark Tierney is a school textbook. Well, it was up to very recently. Most history examiners would be familiar with it. 0 for that one. Let's go to the website provided. So we have a URL, we have a website address, www.irishcentral.com, and we're told there's an article title called The Many Faces of Michael Collins. Now, what an examiner will do here is, well, first of all, he will note there is no access or download date provided, right? So that extra item, that extra validating item is not included, okay? But let's go to the website and let's have a look at this article. So yeah, so I typed in irishcentral.com, and at this time, this is what is on that website. As a corrector, I say to myself, I don't see the article on Michael Collins. Okay, this is not an acceptable source, therefore. All right, so if the student had given maybe the full website address, irishcentral.com/ the great Michael Collins, they would get 1. Okay, 1. But that's what's in front of me. That's a 0 every time. And finally, they tell me they are using a YouTube documentary, Ireland's Greatest, Michael Collins. Again, if it's a YouTube source, it should have a URL and the date you accessed the documentary. I don't have that. Again, I could look. That's not my job, though. So they don't tell you that in the marking scheme. I'm telling you, if you are citing online sources, whether they're podcasts, YouTube documentaries, or websites, or whatever else, give the URL, give the date you accessed the website or the online source. Both of those required for 2 marks. I'm giving this 0, okay? So all 3 sources would get 0 marks, except there is one exception. Say if this was a paper and I come to the end of it and I find it comes to 349 out of 500 marks. This is what's called a hanging grade. We don't like giving hanging grades. If we can at all, we will bounce it up to the next grade. In this case, it would go from a H4 to a H3, the better grade, if it just got 1 mark. So I would probably go back to the sources. I am aware that documentary, Ireland's Greatest, on Michael Collins exists. So I will give this student the benefit of the doubt. They'll get the extra mark, they'll get the extra grade. But people, don't leave that up to kind-hearted correctors like myself, It mightn't always happen. It does, in fairness. All correctors are very, very supportive of candidates. And if it's just 1 mark, we give it, all right? But don't be depending on that. All right, so again, folks, thanks for watching. You can follow me and my work on my tag at Leaving Cert History Tutor, at LC History Tutor, across all social media, well, the ones that matter, even TikTok, okay? And of course, I would greatly appreciate if you would like and share this video with anyone who would find it helpful, and of course, subscribe, right? Is it down there? Okay, one of those anyway. The subscribe button is below, and I would really appreciate your support in the work that I'm doing. All right, so I hope that was of help. I hope it didn't shock you too much. Look, come here. It's a learning experience. Bring it with you. All right, bye now.